When we stand beside a truly ancient tree, like a giant sequoia or a towering oak, we often look up and wonder, branches reaching for the sky, leaves rustling in the breeze, testament to silent, steadfast growth over many decades, or even centuries. But have you ever stopped to consider one of its most profound secrets? How does this magnificent living structure manage to drink? Its roots are buried deep within the earth, yet its highest leaves, sometimes hundreds of feet in the air, are glistening with life. A puzzle that has fascinated scientists for generations. How does a tree defy gravity, lifting vast quantities of water from the soil, all the way to its crown, without a pump, without a heart? It is a silent, invisible, and utterly remarkable journey. This process is one of nature's most elegant solutions to a fundamental problem of life on land. Unlike animals that move to find water, a tree is anchored to one spot. It must draw everything it needs from its immediate surroundings. The journey of water begins in the darkness of the soil, and ends in the bright sunlight at the top of the canopy. It is a slow, continuous flow, a constant upward stream that sustains the entire organism. This is not a forceful, noisy effort, but a gentle, persistent pull. Understanding this reveals a hidden world of intricate physics and biology, a secret superpower. The scale of this task is truly staggering. A single, large oak can lift over 100 gallons of water into the air on a warm, dry day. That is equivalent to several bathtubs full of liquid, hoisted stories high against gravity. If we tried it, we'd need powerful mechanical pumps and lots of energy, yet the tree does it silently, using subtle forces and the power of the sun. A system perfected over millions of years, natural engineering, powerful and simple. Let's follow a single drop of water on its ascent, microscopic root hairs in the soil, up through the intricate network of woody vessels, finally to the leaves, where it is released into the atmosphere. The tree is a dynamic, living system, a vertical river flowing silently against gravity, a story of cooperation, physical forces, and the connection between earth and sky, all happening within the private life of a plant. Our journey begins in the dark, damp world beneath our feet. This is the realm of the roots, a sprawling, hidden network as vast and complex as the branches we see above. The roots are the tree's anchor, holding it firm against wind and weather. They are also its lifeline, connecting to the life-giving resources of the soil. They are explorers, constantly growing and pushing through the earth in search of moisture and nutrients. This underground foundation is where hydration begins. Without this extensive system, the journey of water could never start. If you look very closely at the tip of a young root, you will see it is covered in a fuzzy coating. These are the root hairs. They are the true heroes of this part of the story. Each one is a single, elongated cell that extends out into the soil, massively increasing the surface area of the root system. Think of them as a vast, microscopic sponge designed to soak up as much water as possible. There can be billions of these tiny hairs on a single tree, all working together to probe the minute spaces between soil particles, seeking out every available drop of water and the dissolved minerals it contains. The process of absorption here is a wonder of biology called osmosis. The water inside the root hairs is saltier, containing more dissolved minerals and sugars. This difference in concentration creates a natural pressure, compelling the fresher water from the soil to move across the cell membrane and into the root. It's a bit like a one-way gate that allows water to enter, but makes it difficult to leave. In this gentle, passive manner, the tree begins to draw water into itself, molecule by molecule, along with essential nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus that are vital for its growth and health. Once inside the root hairs, the water does not simply stay there. It continues its journey inward, moving from cell to cell until it reaches the central core of the root. Here, it is collected into a specialized plumbing system that is ready to begin the next stage of its long, upward journey. The roots have done their job, tapping into the Earth's reservoir and gathering the raw materials for life. The water is now inside the tree, poised at the bottom of a vertical highway, ready to be lifted towards the sunlit world above. The dark, silent work of the roots has set the stage for the remarkable feat to come. Now that the water has been gathered by the roots, it must begin its long climb. To do this, the tree relies on an incredible internal plumbing system known as the xylem. You can think of the xylem as a vast network of microscopic drinking straws, all bundled together, running from the very deepest root tips, up through the trunk and branches, and into every single leaf. These are not living cells in the conventional sense. They are the hollowed-out, hardened remains of cells that have died, leaving behind a continuous, interconnected pipeline perfectly designed for transporting water. This highway of tubes is the structural and functional core of the tree's water transport system. The xylem is what makes up the wood of the tree. If you look at the cross-section of a tree trunk, the rings you see are essentially layers of old xylem. This network is astonishingly efficient. The tubes are incredibly narrow, which is crucial for their function. They are arranged in a continuous column, ensuring there are no breaks in the chain of water from the ground to the sky. As the water, now mixed with minerals from the soil, enters this system from the roots, it is ready to be pulled upward. It is no longer just water. It is now a nutrient-rich sap, the essential fluid that will sustain the entire tree. Imagine this network in a giant redwood tree. The xylem tubes must form an unbroken column stretching over 300 feet high. It is a marvel of natural engineering that this system can be built and maintained to such a height, capable of withstanding the immense pressures involved in lifting tons of water. The walls of the xylem tubes are reinforced with a tough, rigid substance called lignin. This reinforcement not only prevents the tubes from collapsing under the intense suction, but also provides the structural strength that allows the tree to grow tall and support the weight of its massive branches and countless leaves. So, the water has entered this specialized highway. It has moved from the living cells of the roots into this non-living pipeline, ready for its ascent. The xylem provides the pathway, a clear and protected channel for the water to travel through, but the presence of these tubes alone does not explain how the water moves up. There is still no pump, no mechanical device forcing the liquid skyward. The xylem is merely the road. The engine that drives the movement is located far, far away, at the very top of the tree, in the leaves that are basking in the sun. We have now followed the water into the xylem, the tree's internal highway. But what provides the power to pull it upward? The answer lies high up in the canopy, in the leaves. A leaf may seem simple, but its surface is dotted with thousands of microscopic pores, almost like tiny mouths. These pores are called stomata. They are the gatekeepers between the inside of the tree and the outside world. During the day, these stomata open to allow the tree to breathe in the carbon dioxide it needs for photosynthesis. However, every time they open, something else escapes: water vapor. This process of water evaporating from the leaves is called transpiration. Think of it as the tree exhaling. As the sun warms the leaf, the water that has traveled up the xylem reaches the leaf's spongy interior. There, it changes from a liquid into a gas, water vapor, and it diffuses out into the surrounding air through the open stomata. While this might seem wasteful, it is this very act of losing water that powers the entire system. Each water molecule that evaporates from a leaf pulls on the molecule behind it. That molecule pulls on the next one, creating a continuous chain reaction that runs all the way down to the roots. This pulling force is remarkably powerful. It creates tension, negative pressure, within the xylem tubes. It's like sipping a drink through a straw. When you suck on the straw, you lower the pressure at the top. The higher atmospheric pressure on the drink's surface pushes the liquid up to your mouth. In a tree, transpiration is the sucking action. As water evaporates from the leaves, it generates a powerful pull transmitted down the entire water column in the xylem. This force can lift water to the tops of the tallest trees on Earth. The rate of transpiration changes with the environment. On a hot day, water evaporates much more quickly. On a dry day, water evaporates much more quickly. On a windy day, water evaporates much more quickly, which means the pull on the water column is stronger, and the tree draws more water from the soil. On a cool day, transpiration slows down. On a humid day, transpiration slows down. The tree's water consumption decreases. We now have the pulling force transpiration, the pipeline, the xylem. But for this system to work, the water itself must behave in a very particular way. The water moving up the tree is not a series of separate droplets, but a continuous, unbroken chain of molecules. Two special properties of water make this possible: cohesion, adhesion. These are simple concepts, but they are the glue holding the whole water transport system together. Without them, the water column would snap and the journey to the top would fail. This is the cohesion tension theory, the best explanation for this natural wonder. First, consider cohesion. Water molecules have a natural attraction to one another. They like to stick together. See a drop on a flat surface. It beads up rather than spreading out. That's because the molecules pull inward on each other. Inside the narrow xylem tubes, this cohesive force is incredibly strong. It links molecules into a single powerful chain like microscopic magnets holding hands. When one molecule is pulled upward by transpiration in the leaf, it tugs the next and so on down the line. Next, adhesion. Water molecules are also attracted to other surfaces. Inside the tree, they stick to the walls of the xylem tubes. That adhesion helps counteract gravity. It supports the water column, preventing it from slipping back between pulls. So, cohesion keeps the water chain connected, while adhesion pins that chain to the sides of the pipes, working together to ensure steady, uninterrupted upward flow against gravity. Now picture the whole system in action. At the top, transpiration from the leaves creates a strong tension, a pull. That pull is transmitted down through the tree via the cohesive chain filling the xylem. Each molecule pulls the one below it, creating an unbroken stream. At the same time, adhesion between water and xylem walls supports the column. This elegant combo, powered by the sun and water's unique properties, lets a tree lift water to incredible heights, silently and efficiently, day after day. The tree can even control this by opening or closing its stomata. It is a delicate balancing act. It must open its stomata to take in carbon dioxide for food, but in doing so, it risks losing too much water, especially in arid conditions. This elaborate and powerful system for moving water is not just for show, it is absolutely essential for the tree's survival. It serves several critical functions at once. Perhaps the most important of these is its role in photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process by which a tree makes its own food. To do this, it needs three key ingredients: sunlight, carbon dioxide from the air water. The water that has made the long journey up from the roots is a primary reactant. It is combined with carbon dioxide in the leaves, using energy from the sun to produce sugars, the tree's energy source. Beyond making food, the water stream acts as the tree's circulatory system, delivering vital nutrients. The water absorbed by the roots is a solution containing dissolved minerals like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. Those minerals are essential for building new cells, leaves, flowers. These minerals travel upward in the xylem like a conveyor belt, and are distributed for growth and repair. Without this constant flow, the tree can't access soil nutrients, and it would effectively starve. Water also provides structural support. A cell full of water is firm. That is turgor. You see the opposite when a houseplant wilts. Its cells lost water, and the leaves and stem become limp. Quick, then recover when watered. The same principle applies to a massive tree. Water pressure in millions of cells keeps leaves and young stems firm, holding them to catch sunlight. This turgor pressure is a hydraulic skeleton that helps the tree stand tall and strong. Finally, transpiration is the tree's natural air conditioning. When water evaporates from leaves, it cools them, much like sweating cools us. Leaves in intense sun can overheat and be damaged. By releasing water vapor, the tree regulates temperature and protects photosynthesis even at midday. The journey of water from soil to sky within a tree is a silent miracle of the natural world, a process of such elegance and power that it is easy to overlook. It is a system that relies on the simple laws of physics and the unique properties of water, yet it achieves something truly extraordinary: the sustained life of some of the largest and oldest organisms on our planet. This upward flow is the heartbeat of the forest, a constant, life-giving pulse that connects the earth beneath our feet with the atmosphere above. Without this remarkable ability, there would be no tall trees, no vast forests, and the world would be an unrecognizably different place. Each tree is, in essence, a living fountain. It continuously draws water from the ground and releases it into the air. When we consider the sheer number of trees in a forest, the collective impact is immense. Forests act as giant humidifiers. They influence local weather patterns. They contribute to the formation of clouds and rain. The water vapor they release can travel thousands of miles, meaning that a forest in one region can help to water a landscape in another. This makes the health of our forests a matter of global importance. Their ability to transport water is directly linked to the planet's water cycle. This process is not only vital for the tree and the climate, but for all life on Earth, including us. By enabling photosynthesis, this water transport system is at the very foundation of most terrestrial food chains. The sugars created in the leaves provide energy for the tree, which in turn provides food and shelter for countless insects, birds, mammals. Furthermore, a byproduct of photosynthesis is the oxygen we breathe. Every drop of water lifted to a leaf is part of a process that replenishes the very air that sustains us. A quiet but profound service performed by every tree, every day. So, the next time you walk through a park, or a forest, and stand in the shade of a tall tree, take a moment to appreciate the silent work happening within. Picture the billions of root hairs soaking up moisture, the unbroken columns of water climbing through the xylem, the leaves gently breathing that water back into the sky. It is a system of breathtaking ingenuity and scale, a hidden superpower that enables life to thrive. The health of our trees is inextricably linked to the health of our planet. Understanding this incredible journey is the first step toward appreciating just how much we depend on these silent, green giants.